Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
That music always gets me stoked for this show. But
Yes.
welcome to episode 4 of Hello Hello Time. I'm Amor, joined by our friends here. It's a little bit of a leaner crew today, but we still got plenty of people hanging out. We got Nick and Ma'an here. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hey.
We got Fred. I was trying to
Hello.
remember if we wanted, like, if we were doing like
Oh yeah, where's
YouTube, Twitch handles, or things like that. So
I know. The making the switch every other week is kind of like, where are we again?
Where are we again? Yeah.
There they are. There they are.
And then
What place is this?
where am I? And then we got. I was like, do I go Tito Fred? Are we saying Pan Fred Nudo? Is it Kuya Nikki and Ate Ma'an?
Yes.
We got Kuya Roldi. Is that it's
Kuya
not in your
Nomo?
name tag,
Malagayang
but
Pasko.
your Nomo.
Woo!
So
okay, I messed up.
Oh, did you mess up? Wait for it.
There you go.
There it is.
Oh,
There you go.
There you go.
Nice.
We are back with another episode. Last episode we did live from Brick Slopes, which
Brick
is
Slopes?
how
Yeah,
Brick
that was
Slopes,
fun.
which is how we've been saying it. Some of us were over there. Me, Fred, Nick, and Rob were all over there. You might have seen the recorded
Live.
in front of a live audience. I know we were all giving
Pseudo
Rob a
live.
hard time. It was pseudo live, but we're doing this live right now on
Yes.
YouTube. We kind of went rogue. I'll tell you now.
Yes,
We're like,
back
hey
here.
Rob, we're doing this live now.
Rob
So-
doesn't even know that we're
Right.
doing this.
He'll
Rob
find
knows.
this later.
Actually,
Okay,
maybe he's
good.
one of the viewers right
I
now.
was gonna
As
say,
of-
Fred.
As of this second, he knows.
He's aware.
He's aware.
He's recovered like this.
Excellent.
He's in bed all cozied up like
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
What going
he
on?
sensed it. He knows what's going on.
What are these hooligans doing?
What are they doing? What are they
They
doing?
They've commandeered my channel.
Yeah. But how's everyone's week been since we last saw each other? I know some of us haven't seen each other in 2 weeks, but how's really quick? How's everyone been? What's new with you guys?
It's been good. We've been buying a few Lego sets here and there.
September
Oh,
September 1st.
September
What?
1st buys.
Look at Rob.
What are they
But
selling?
we got a comment here.
Balot.
Where
Anong
are you?
balita?
Taho.
You know, oh, I was gonna say that. What are they selling? Taho.
Taho.
Balot.
Balut.
Uh,
September 1st. What did you guys? Are we gonna get into that? What everybody
Yeah.
get?
It's September 1st. It just
Dang,
it's
it's that.
very fresh. A lot of things came out. Do we want to go down the line and see who
Yeah.
got what?
Okay, who's matching
Let's
with
do it.
who?
Let's do it. Matching.
Oh yeah, let's
Hey.
start with the twins. Start with the twins here.
Mats.
Hey.
Matsi.
Triplets.
Ghost.
So we got some ghosts here.
So did you
Yeah,
guys line up for this at the Lego store or just pre-ordered?
No, go bid.
I pre-ordered. I cheated.
I pre-ordered mine.
Nice. I cheated, but I don't know about you guys. I mean, obviously, we'll go out on the line first, and then we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Go. Let's see it. What else?
So
Nick?
I went to the Lego store
Lined
on
up.
day one,
Number 25 in the line.
and I have to bring it in the
Oh.
box
Number 25.
because I this is empty.
Yes,
'Cause I already
we've
built
already built it. We've
And
had
this box was already broken down, but I put it back together just for the show to
Wow.
show the
Beautiful-
size. To show the
beautiful
size.
box, nicely dramatic over there with the black background, and it's already displayed.
And we
So you already
actually
built the whole
Yeah.
thing and everything. It's all
We did a,
done.
we did a build
Cool.
stream with.
Did you do the gift for purchase?
Fatima.
Gifted purchase.
Yeah. Here it is.
Oh yeah. You
I
got that
haven't
too.
built the gifted purchase, so this is still.
Nice.
Fresh.
in box.
Next.
Are you
Twitch
gonna build it?
stream-
I don't know because where I displayed it, there's nowhere to put this.
Oh, there's a
unless
room,
I-
huh?
He
Hmm.
literally
Somehow-
had a size on the display area. That's the circumference of the base. That's it. And I was like very skeptical that it was going to fit because then it's really covering a lot of our Harry Potter stuff in the corner. It's cool that he managed to up to the dragon. Like literally, we had shelves floating up, and the dragon just basically touches.
How tall is that thing? How tall is it?
It
How tall is it?
is 79 centimeters or 27.5 inches tall.
Mhm.
If
Oh,
you
wow.
include the dragon.
That's cool.
Without the dragon, it's a bit
0.5.
shorter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Freedom
But it was
units.
a very, very cool build. It's a beautiful set. I'm very happy with the turnout of it. It was overwhelming though when Nick said we're going to build this. So I was really just part of the small build altogether. I was like the base of the bank
Yes.
and some parts of the.
I did the
plastic
first 7
cabinets.
bags, and then she did the next 7 bags, and then I
Yes.
just finished it off.
Yes. So it was a
And
cool
then
build.
a
And
more.
more.
Ayun! Ang ganda!
Slim na slim.
Now, were you always like looking at this set from before?
No,
You're like, I gotta have.
I was
you.
looking at it and I was so tempted, but I didn't get it as soon as it was available, like to
Oh.
order. And I shouldn't have been in a Discord call with like AZ Pinoy and Zach M.
Oh, did he
Rutledge,
get it
'cause-
too?
No, but like he's like, look at this video. I was like, oh no, and I like, it was. I was looking at it, and he's like, look how
Got 'em.
swooshable it is. I was like,
How swooshable.
and
I do.
Zach and I were like, oh, I want it so bad, and then I was like, I'm asleep on it because
That's very.
I
smart.
exercised self-restraint.
That's very.
And
good.
then the next day, I was like, I was thinking about that conversation, and I went the whole like next day not doing anything about it. So I went 2 days. I was like,
Ooh,
fine,
that
I'll
is
just order.
restraint.
And then I was like, you know what? But I checked myself because I was like, do I really want it? Do I really want it?
Did some
And,
soul searching there. That's really
I
deep
did.
soul searching.
I did some soul searching and then I got it, and
And
it
you
just
did.
arrived. It just arrived. So,
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Oh, fresh.
yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
so it's
Made it time
was-
for
Is
the
that going to be
show.
built tonight on stream?
I think so.
I was talking about this. I'm still finishing that gigantic Hulkbuster that I have,
right.
and so I'm like, I'm the meme of the guy who's sweating who has 2 buttons to push. I'm like, do I finish Hulkbuster on stream or just keep working on it on the side, or do I do the Concord?
You mean Ultra Santo Nino? You mean
Ultra Sent?
you already have Santo Nino right there? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Have you guys seen? Have you?
No.
So this is
I've
the
never
Monkey
noticed.
Oh, the
King
Monkey
Ultra
Mech.
Mech. This is a Monkey King Ultra Mech
Oh.
chilling in
Yeah.
front of some of my
Oh,
modulars.
yes.
But,
Right.
but the thing is, when you blur it,
It
I
looks like
told
the
him.
TV.
I told him, I was like, what's a Santo Nino?
Fred's
what's
like,
that
what's,
Santo Nino doing
Fred's
back
like,
there?
what's back there?
That's funny.
He's like,
I
that
love
looked
it
like
that
a
you
Santo Nino, and I was like,
Have
yeah,
the reference silhouette in your head. Oh my gosh, it's so
yeah.
funny.
He had
you
it
have to explain
ready.
to the chat what a Santo Nino is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So chat,
Go ahead,
if
Fred.
you don't know who Santo Nino or what Santo Nino is, it's typically a statue that is typically found in a Filipino household that is of little boy Jesus.
Baby
Little
Jesus.
boy Jesus. Yeah.
Yep,
So
in a beautiful robe, usually like royal maroon or however, and it's
Right.
usually in a place like an altar, right? And so it's going to be surrounded by candles, or there's also the cross behind it. But it's an area where when people pass it, you have to do the sign of the cross too, or something.
Did everyone here growing up have a Santo Nino in your house?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did too.
I did not, but I've
Oh.
been to enough houses
now you
to
do.
know. Yeah, it's like I was
The
fully
spirit of it.
aware. It's not like I hadn't seen, because I've seen them at many Filipino houses.
Yeah.
So
I remember there was even a traveling Santo Nino where
Yeah.
it would travel from home to
If you
home.
have a prayer,
And
group,
whenever
that
it
one?
would come to someone's house,
and it's
it would be a
yeah,
big
yeah.
prayer group.
either
would-
that or like a Mother Mary, like a very big
Yeah.
Mother
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah.
Normally
I-
for,
I remember that.
the
I'm getting
rosary
triggered now again.
Lent-
Yes.
Lent season, yeah.
but
my
you know, if you-
birthday. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, if you think about it, the Hulkbuster has all the same colors.
Yeah,
It's the
that
same
is
color.
That's why,
actually
So
that's
it's
why
like
Fred.
regal.
up.
Yeah.
Beefed up,
Yeah, and
beefed up
how-
Ultra Santo
oh,
Nino.
And the silhouette is also like very large on the shoulders and it
Korean
tapers
Jesus?
down.
I've been
right?
thinking about a rebrick, man. A rebrick of a
Rebrick Santo Nino. You got to do
Yeah.
it.
like
Yeah.
rebrickable, you mean?
I'm just gonna take one of these Hulkbuster sets and turn it into a
and
Santo
turn into
Nino.
Ultra something. I should do it. My birthday is.
Ultra,
I was gonna
yes,
say my
yeah.
birthday is near the feast day of Santo Nino, so my name is Frederick Nino. My first name is technically two parts.
Frederick Nino.
So I
Yeah, middle name.
100% had a Santo Nino in my house. I had to.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had to.
You guys dress it up too.
Was that?
What do you mean?
So like the one that we have in our house
Mhm.
is like this. Sometimes my mom like puts like this really glittery
Elaborate.
like, coat.
My
or,
mom
like,
has
cloak.
changed the
Oh.
cape of
Yeah.
our Santo Nino a few times. She would
Mm.
have like sequins,
Like during
or
That's
special
next
occasions?
level.
it is next level. And
Dang,
I
it's
don't
like
know,
a GI Joe Santo Nino.
Maybe
What the
that's how my
hell?
mom used to do
Barbie
arts
doll.
and craft. But
But yeah,
I
we would bring
remember
it
our
to like
Santo
other
Nino would
people's
have like
houses and
sometimes
she
it's
would
like
bake them all the
velvet,
time.
The
like a
fact
velvet or
that your Santo
brocade.
Nino had
Yeah.
had different outfits is impressive to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
mine was
never
not
really
that.
thought about it until you mentioned that, Harold. But it's my mom did
That's a
something like
thing.
that too.
Yeah.
You had the
Although
deluxe
Yeah.
Santo Nino.
they probably sent her like a monthly. These are your materials for the next like quarter. Do something with it, right? And
Yeah.
it'll be like satin
That's
or
impressive.
silk or.
Yeah, that's impressive. I wish mine was a GI Joe / Barbie.
But if you go to the Philippines, they have a lot of beautifully decorated, very very ornate Santo
Yeah.
Nino. I just don't know how people travel back with them because some of them are like life size.
Very
and,
carefully.
if you wrap it and you put it in your suitcase, I'm sure people will be like, "What is in that?" Like,
Yeah, you're hiding stuff in there.
right? But our church recently, I guess it would probably come in cargo just as an offside. But our church currently, and I haven't been to church in a while, so this was new to me. But I think the current priest is Filipino, and
Hmm.
somehow or another he got a bunch of marble statues, and I
Oh.
think they're from the Philippines. They're so
Of-
beautiful.
Oh
Wow.
With saints of like one is Saint
okay.
Joseph, one is
Yeah.
Saint Francis of Assisi, and I think the Jesus one where the lights come out of him.
Huh.
That's the merciful redeemer look, right? And they're like life size. So I feel like that would be in a cargo of a ship, right? Like it's not like, hey, let's
Oh,
FedEx
yeah.
this guy over because they look huge and heavy. But yeah,
It'd be too heavy.
but I feel like they're either made in Italy or in the Philippines, where's the cost saving here?
Yeah.
The best.
But speaking of cost, I think like September 1st, I don't know about you guys.
Costly?
Nothing really. No, I mean a lot of people did go crazy, but no, not a lot of people did go crazy, is what I meant
Yeah.
to say.
Mm.
I don't think
Yeah.
everybody went, and I think it's becoming less and less of a thing. I mean, I know people went crazy for any Harry Potter stuff, because I know like Rob, for example, went to a grand opening
Yeah.
of a store and
Yeah.
was there on release day, and he got green gots because of the gift of purchase. A lot of them did. The crew that went with them, and I don't know. I think are people just becoming more and more broke? Like they're not, going to buy on the release day. Are people just being more conscious of,
Very conscious.
getting everything or whatnot? I mean, not a lot of stuff really sold out except for, I know some sets went on back order. The Ghost, I think, went on back order. The T6 shuttle, Ahsoka's T6 shuttle went on back order. The Disney camera went on back order.
Yeah.
But nothing like really sold out.
Right.
Yeah, so when I went to the Lego store on day one, most people were buying the Star Wars sets. Basically, in the line that I saw, they were carrying all the Star Wars set except for Chewbacca. Nobody had Chewbacca; that was still on the shelf. But right away, you look at the shelves and they were empty, and there were people just waiting for the staff to take stuff out from the back to bring them the Ghost and also the gunship. They were all waiting for that. Because a lot of things came out. The Disney set. Oh, I heard Christine again. The Disney sets, the camera. A lot of people were trying to get that, and also the Marvel CMFs. People were getting that, and then Gringotts.
Mhm.
So there were people in line waiting to get a lot of stuff. Like I was only get one, but I talked to a bunch of people. They're like, "Yeah, we're getting this and this and this and this." I'm like, "Whoa, okay." So there were people getting Star Wars, and they were excited about the Star Wars. Mostly,
Maybe Lego's just getting better at stocking stuff because
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
they
I don't
know
know.
that people are.
Well, they know. I know the website was all was all jacked up the night before.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
Maybe that's a good point too, right? Like in anticipation that they have hyped up September 1st for a lot of releases, maybe they're more mindful of ensuring that there is X amount of stock available because it has been such a downer when people are awaiting for a release and suddenly, like after X amount of purchases, it's like sold out and then you're just on back order waiting. So, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe that could also be part of it. But yeah, September 1st, I felt like there's a lot on social media that, you're anticipating the arrival of September 1st and they're really, making sure that you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
sure people were just not putting their money where their mouth is, and was like, I'm getting this day one, this, and then
Maybe they're waiting for October 1st, which is the Venator, and
Let's
people are going to be
go.
shelling out. How much is that going to be? Like
600?
600? It's
Yeah,
probably
600
800
American.
Canadian.
Does anything happen for Black Friday specifically there in America for?
There's usually a
Yeah,
big set.
Euro,
So I
right?
think the rumor is the Avengers Tower might be
Oh,
the Black
really?
Friday
Yeah.
set.
Because I mean, we are slowly entering Black Friday nest here, also in Toronto and Canada. But we've been late in the game, and I don't think our prices are anywhere as good as the sales that you guys ever get. So
Look at this guy in bed just watching the stream when he could be on. What a guy.
dang, 125. That's a
that's crazy.
price that I would pay for Chewbacca.
Same, actually.
So
Yeah, 200 is too much, but Chewbacca is a dope set. I just not for
I haven't
200.
seen it in our Costco yet. So
yeah, there's a
Might get
rumor
there.
that Disney camera might be at Costco for $20.
really,
Yeah, so
They-
wait for that.
Really?
I know. I've been like bugging my wife. I was like, "Can you go to Costco? Why? You could go to like."
not for groceries. Mm-mm.
Yeah, we don't need
No.
anything
Lego.
like that.
Yeah.
Lego.
Just Lego. We don't have as many Lego sets on site, but it's slowly building. Like I just went yesterday
Oh, at Costco.
at Costco, but it's like mainly Friends or the Botanicals. What else was there?
Dreams?
A Batman. No, not Dreams.
Oh, not
But
Dreams.
there's a lot on online Costco.ca.
Canadian Costco.
But I feel like they also increase the price a little bit more when you're buying from Costco online, like maybe like a few more
I think
dollars
so
here and there,
too.
right? So if you can find it on site, that's always good. I think you guys can go from a horizontal position and just hang out with us. Hang out with us. Yeah. So yeah, but September 1st purchases, at least that's gone and done. And then like you said, we're now waiting for October 1st.
It's not gone and done. I'm still buying some stuff that released on September 1st.
What are you buying next then? Where are you getting?
I got to get the rest of the Star Wars stuff. So I'm going to be getting the gunship, the Ahsoka's T6 shuttle, and of course the E-wing versus Shin's ship.
Yeah.
So
Shin
those
yeah.
are gonna be on the docket. The Disney camera is also on there
Yeah.
as well. So I'm not in a rush. Like I didn't go and like do
Yeah.
one big like FOMO driven
Mhm.
haul on September 1st where I got every single one of those on day one. I just went and just
Yeah.
did the ghost. So
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, those
Progress.
ones could be like on sale sets. Because I want to get those too, like just for the minifigures. Because that Ahsoka shows.
I know.
Getting
Are
me.
you guys
I like
watching
it.
Ahsoka? Like I'm
yeah,
loving
it's
it.
so
and
good.
Of course.
I'm amazed by how it's so beautiful.
I'm
to me.
anticipating for episode 5 now.
Yes.
So
And I don't
Yeah.
have a very strong background or history on the lore of Ahsoka.
you're learning. You've been watching
So
some
I'm
of the
actually
episodes.
watching what's it called? The Ahsoka.
Rebels?
Ahsoka Essentials. It's
Essentials.
on Disney Plus.
Ah.
So
Disney
they
They're
have
Plus.
giving you
certain
certain
episodes.
episodes from
Yeah,
certain
Nick
seasons.
needs to watch that too.
And so I
What do you
I
mean?
think that's good. But it's great. So I'm really enjoying that show right now. I think it's next level.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really rewarding to those who watched Clone Wars and Rebels,
Mhm.
and of course Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. If you watched all of those,
There's
all
a
the
lot
way
of
through.
payoffs.
You're being really, I mean, it's great if you. I mean, it's still great if you haven't, but if you have, you're being really, really, really rewarded right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You might even get a second experience if watching it first, then watching all the essentials,
right?
then watching it again, and then you'll have
Yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
different
yeah.
experience.
That's true. But I think
Yeah.
that's always, I think that was the case for repeats, right? Like you just have a bit more of an insight, appreciating more of like Easter eggs, sort of like that you discover throughout the process of that. So
Mhm.
that's cool.
Oh, right.
A few of you guys went to Utah just a couple of weeks ago. I had to like drive Nick all the way to Buffalo for him to like see you
These guys were
Can't
laughing
believe
at my
He
story.
had an
That's
epic
commitment.
story, right?
I'm more in awe by it, not
So I
I'm
mean,
humored, but
if anything, we're kind of used to like driving to Buffalo. I actually prefer to fly out of Buffalo. We just say hello to the guards over at the bridge, and it's the easiest. Like they don't, they never say boo to us. But when we actually fly out of Toronto, the lineup just at this, I guess they call it customs. But the
Immigration.
customs, yeah, is in Toronto, of course. But once you enter like this gate that says U.S., you're technically in Toronto. They're like hard on you. It's like, why? Why are you going to Disney World? We want to have fun. Like it's just like a bit next level of interrogation. So I feel it's always pretty easy going to Buffalo. It's about an hour
Did it
from
say
us.
where are you going?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're going.
We're going for a
We're
Lego
flying out,
convention.
and they already know all these Canadians fly out of Buffalo because it's like half the cost of flights. Like it's very rare for us to even fly out from Pearson for the cost alone. Like to go to Utah, I think we paid just under $400,
It would have been 900.
and it would be
if
900
I
from
flew out.
Pearson. So I'm
Jeez.
like, I'm sure we can save
Yeah.
$500 and put that into Gringotts, and the hour
Yeah.
drive is not
so
too bad.
for those that don't know the full trip that Nick had to make to go to Utah, can you quickly summarize like what
So-
that trip entailed?
So we drove about an hour 20 minutes
Yeah.
from here to Buffalo,
and
we
this
left.
is at 1 in the morning.
Yeah, we left at 1 in the
because
morning.
his flight was 6.
Wow.
So we're also used to that kind of like crazy time.
I guess you don't have to be there 3 hours
Yeah.
in advance, but
But I wanted to
it's
get
that
back
whole
home.
Filipino thing where my parents are always like, when you go to the Philippines, you always have to be there 3 hours in advance.
Right.
So
But I wanted to go back home because I was working that day, right?
Yeah.
So for
that's
me
true.
to have dropped him off and then I would be home by 4 a.m. I could sleep again for a couple more hours and then get to work. So,
So you drove an hour
So-
and hour and
hour
About
and 15.
hour
Yeah.
15, hour 20 to Buffalo.
Yeah.
And then you
from
flew out of-
Buffalo. Flew from Buffalo to LaGuardia in New York. And I think the stop over there was 2.5 hours.
Hmm.
And then flew from
it's now 8
LaGuardia
o'clock.
to Dallas.
Yeah.
Another
4
hour and a half layover.
And now time zone change.
And then
That's
from Dallas to Utah.
so much.
And then I was telling these guys too. I called an Uber to get to the hotel room
From Utah Airport.
to the hotel, and I accidentally gave them the hotel location
Downtown.
of downtown and not.
So you went
Sandy.
to the wrong hotel.
So yeah, we're halfway there, and then I mentioned, "Is this the way to Sandy?" And then
Utah.
the Uber driver's like, "No, this is
Mm.
downtown." So he pulls off on the side of the highway, takes my phone himself, and then enters it in, and then we're on our way.
So at least you saw downtown Utah for however brief it was.
no, it was the highway on.
Here.
how
Oh.
how many hours of travel was that for you, Nick?
So the
9?
flight ended up leaving at 6, and then I ended up getting to Utah around 3:30. So
It's like going to.
I'm not
London
sure of
England.
how many in the air though. I have to
I
check.
think
what
your
the tickets
air
say.
your airspace is probably like 4 hours only. Like it would just take 3-4 hours. To
No, it
go
was
to
more
Utah.
than 4.
Sure, but like the whole from the start to finish, that
Yeah,
was pretty
9.
much a day. That was
It's
pretty
a
much
day.
a whole
Yeah,
day.
it was a
Given
day.
that I made him also drive to Buffalo, I'm like,
I commend you. I commend you for that because I woke woke up, got ready. My flight wasn't until way later, but I packed my bag like
that
last
morning.
minute. Fred was teasing. He's like, "You all ready?" The night before, I was like, "No." I'm not."
I said the
I
same
start-
thing though. I was like,
start to.
I'm not ready either.
Yeah, I started to, and then I was like, I'll finish in the morning. And then, anyways, I got to the airport like an hour before.
Yeah.
Went through. It's a small airport. I went through security, and I was on the plane for like an hour and like 20 minutes. Like I think I chilled at the airport like an equal amount of time
Yeah.
as being on the plane, and then I got in an Uber to go to the Sandy hotel, the correct one. So
the right one.
my total travel was probably like, if you include the waiting at the airport, like 2.5, 3 hours at
That's right.
most. So
Well, even if
man.
you guys forgot anything, I think the hotel was so close to a Target, close-ish, right?
Yeah, it was.
yeah,
How about you, Fred? How was your?
Adventure to Utah.
Was there an event?
It wasn't. It was. I spent more time in the Las Vegas airport than I did anything than in the air. Because I flew out of a small airport here in Southern California, which is really close to home. And that was it's a 5:30 a.m. flight, which is no big deal. And then I got there like not even maybe within an hour ish of the flight, but it was 5:30 or it was 4:30 in the morning, so it was
Wow,
like
so early. Yeah.
yeah, I could just walk right through
Nice.
security.
Yeah.
And then I flew from that airport to Vegas, which was like not even a 40-minute flight. Not even like just barely. It was like we were up in the air and then we already sort of started
Going
descending.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was there for like 2 hours. So I had breakfast and got to watch Zach on Twitch because he's always up so heckin' early. And then another hour from Vegas to Salt Lake City. And then I was there by 11:30 Salt Lake City time. So it was super duper chill. I spent more time in the air again in Vegas than I did even in the air, which was okay because I mean I got to have breakfast, I got to chill, got to hang out, and then luckily I had a ride arranged for me through Cody, who is one of the most generous, big-hearted people ever. Shout out to Cody, the king of swag, who was one of the people that put together Brick Slopes. And my friend, they sent on over Maddie and Scott to pick me up at the airport and drop me off at the hotel first because they wanted to go straight to the place, which was, they had warned me. They were like, I was like, is it walkable? Can I walk to the convention place from the hotel? And I was like, they're like, you can, but it's not fun. And I was like,
uphill.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. I was like, okay, well, I'll just get dropped off at the hotel and wait for Ace, for Brett, for Amish Ace, because we roomed together.
Okay.
And so it wasn't that bad. And then later on that night, I told Amor, I described it to him via text message. I was like, listen, the walk is not. It's far enough. It's close enough to walk, but it's also far enough to warrant an Uber if you just didn't want to do it. But you're gonna feel really guilty being in that Uber for less than 2 minutes.
And
Amor, you Ubered, right?
Well, here's the thing. I flew in like just before opening ceremonies for Brick Slopes, so like it was literally like I got in long enough to check into the hotel, throw my bags in the room, make sure I had my stuff on me, ran down. I should have just gone directly there. But that said, I then Ubered because I didn't want to be late for opening ceremonies from the hotel to the expo center. And yes, I did feel guilty because I was barely in the car. Like, that's how short of a drive it was.
You close the door, and then you're like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah. It was like, close the door, and I like, went,
Do I put my seatbelt on?
And then he was like, literally, like, pulling up. I'm like, okay, yeah, wow. That felt weird. The shortest, and that was quite literally the shortest Uber ride I've ever had. And I awkwardly thanked the guy. I was like, thanks.
Thank you.
And yeah, but I showed up just in time for the opening ceremonies to start. I think I was there maybe like 5 minutes early. I still would have been late if I walked it, honestly. And so I'm glad that I did.
What time did ceremonies start at? Like noon?
No,
I think it was like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
and
super late.
Yeah, I arrived just in time with the Uber, thanks to Fred's warning. Because I know if I walked it, I probably would have been like 10, 15 minutes later.
Yeah. Then you would have walked up all sweaty and miserable.
Yeah, and you're like, no, this is more and more. There's more and more.
Yeah, it was warm, right? Like it was warm enough for me to sweat uphill. Yeah, I was like,
Yuta made you work.
Glad I did it. But man, Brick Slopes was so good. Brick Slopes was...
So it's the first time for you, first time for Nick. Tito Fred, have you been last year?
Nope.
I forget. Oh, so you guys are all like Utah virgins.
Yeah.
When I got to the second convention ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, when I got to the convention center, I just walked in and I didn't know anyone. Like I couldn't recognize anyone. And then I started approaching the stage, and right away I saw Fred and Amish Ace. I'm like, hey! And then we finally were able to meet up.
Oh, good.
And then I guess about an hour later, Amor shows up. Like we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, Amor like sits down beside me. Hey,
Just
Amor.
shows up.
Yeah, I just sat down. I was like, hey, I wonder what's gonna happen. Nick's like, that's awesome.
But it's fine.
And then like Fred and I think Amish were in front of us, and then they turn around and see Amor, and then like, because I guess it's their first time seeing Amor as well.
Yeah, it's the first time we all saw each other in person.
You guys had a great swag
me
bag
seeing
too.
them.
Big hugs happened.
Yep. Lots of good
Yeah.
souvenirs. Lots of good giveaways.
Yeah, lots of swag actually.
I
Oh
like
my
the
gosh.
stickers.
Yeah,
There
there
was
was
a
a
lot.
lot. There was a lot.
It's very cool.
Cody lived up to the hype. Lived up to his name of the King of Swag. So
Yeah.
he totally hooked it up. And then no,
Fred
I
even
think
got something. So you even got something at the end, and he couldn't even bring it home because it was so big.
I couldn't.
What?
It was
Yeah.
it was the minifigure head container, and it was the jack-o'-lantern one.
Oh.
And you
Orange.
couldn't. They wouldn't let you
couldn't
carry
carry
this
it on?
on.
Well, he
I mean,
It's too
I
big.
It was
could.
room. It was
Just
about
to go like
room.
this.
It would have
You
been.
carry
It would have
infant.
been. Yeah, it would have been my carry-on. It would have sucked. So luckily,
Yeah.
Brian, shout out to Brian, another person putting on brick slopes. He offered to ship it to me.
Oh, nice.
That's
Oh,
good.
they-
So-
Very good at them.
So
Oh,
it's
that's
really cool. So yeah, no, it was really good. Brick slopes was not nearly as chaotic and overwhelming as Brick World,
Mhm.
but I think just made for overall. I feel like probably a better experience in some ways. I mean, obviously each one had their pros and cons, but I think just the mere fact that we were able to kind of have more quality conversations
Yeah.
versus just the sheer quantity of conversations with people, I think made for a better con experience, like talking with people that I probably wouldn't have had time to talk to at all. Like, for example, Emily and Ross, Emmasaurus, Mr. Saurus. I met them very briefly, said hi, hello, at Brick World at the beginning of the convention, and saw him around every once in a while and would say hi and wave hello throughout the convention, but didn't get to sit down and like talk to him. So it was really nice to sit, talk, and converse and really talk shop about Lego and content creation, and just even not even talk shop, just kind of just talk like normal people, so it was really nice. I mean, obviously meeting Amor for the first time, I got to
that's
even
Yeah.
learn things about Amor and vice versa that I would have not really had learned on the internet. And so being able to do that at Brick Slopes, and I don't think I would have had that opportunity at Brick World, which I know we didn't. Kuya Nick and Atiman, like we didn't even have that
Ships
that opportunity.
Ships
Right.
passing. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, same thing with the Herald. Yeah, like I saw you guys, from across the floor. We would wave to each other really quick and be like, "Hey," or whatever, and then like, we never.
Yeah.
I got to know you more over the internet than I did like at Brick World. So
Yeah.
I think that was, I mean, at least for me, one of the biggest highlights of Brick Slopes. Obviously, the builds were amazing. The atmosphere was great, but I think that kind of having the opportunity to talk to more people on a really quality conversation level was the highlight for me.
Have either of you been to Utah in general, or no? That was the first time to that state as well, or city.
First time.
Never
yeah.
been.
Felt like,
Never been.
I was gonna say also, Amor and I hung out for a big chunk after closing
Last day?
ceremony.
Yeah, on the
Because-
last day.
Well, both our flights were at 10:45.
Like within
p.m.
minutes of each other, and then we learned that the gates were pretty much right next
Yeah,
to
that's
each other.
crazy.
His gate was
Yes.
24.
Oh,
Mine was
cute.
22.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We were sitting
yeah.
beside each other the whole time.
Where was your exit? New York again, right?
Yeah, and his was straight to Oregon. But you were talking about Cody hooked you up on the way in. Cody hooked us up on the way out and
That's
was
so
able to get
nice.
us a ride to the airport. So
Nice.
called up Jen, I guess Jen Smart from Lego Masters, and she and her husband were able to drive Amor and I to the airport.
Yeah,
Which was really
they're
nice.
just local there, so they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we can
Wow.
drop them
And it was
off.
just fun even chatting with them in the car, just talking
Yeah.
about the builds and
They're
everything.
so down to earth. That's so good.
Yeah.
And you guys were able to even enjoy some Filipino food
Yes.
when you
Yeah.
went to Utah.
Yes.
So tell
Yeah.
us
There
about
was
that
the
one. How did you
Gula.
guys get all that? Yeah.
Well, you were the one that recommended the
I
place.
did, but like I didn't know how you guys were gonna go unless you guys Ubered, but
Oh,
you
we,
guys didn't have to, right?
we had rides.
did.
Locals.
That's really good that you guys
Yeah,
were able
actually
to
two
find all these
locals.
rides.
Yeah, so Zane from Two Figs One Set, also part of the ELPN, drove a couple of us, and then we had our friend Ruthless Night Sister Ruthie and her husband Q, who we know from Twitch,
Oh, cool.
drive a couple of us as well. So yeah, we had a couple locals. They had never been to the restaurant. They didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
And
I know.
Yeah.
they were really excited to try Filipino food. So we had them try the non-Filipino friendly foods.
Lumpia.
Anyone?
Yeah, lumpia, adobo.
Adobo.
Yeah.
I had them try
The classics.
beef caldereta and
good.
the barbecue chicken.
yeah.
So
yeah.
they liked it. Yeah. I mean, for me, it was average. I mean, maybe it's just
Yeah.
because it's me. I have a lot of Filipino
Yes.
places around here.
That's right.
So it was like an average. It was my, like to me, like an average Filipino restaurant that had,
Yeah.
you pick things a la carte from like a hot plate and you just,
That's right.
tell them
Turo,
this,
turo.
this.
Right.
You're right. And it wasn't bad. I had the adobo and beef caldereta as well, and it was
Yeah.
Good choice.
pretty good.
Did you guys have halo halo? That's the whole thing.
The second time we went, I ordered halo halo just
A
for
leche
the
flan?
sake of it.
Ooh, delightful.
But the first time, I think Amor and I, we had the same thing. We had
Monkey.
longanisa and
Yeah.
pork adobo. Speaking of longanisa,
that was our cook of the day. So I made some longanisa today. And guess what?
Nice.
They are selling it in Costco now.
oh
so
wait,
we
wait.
usually what are those? Oh, mango. I love that mango juice. That's my
Mango
favorite
juice?
mango juice of all time.
Clover
Clover
chips.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I don't know clover chips.
Clover chips are good. It's like this. This is the
Good.
cheese.
Is it like puffs? Yeah. Is it like puffs?
They're kind of like
Uh,
puffs.
longanisa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's looking a little bit
It's it's
Uh,
not hot
it's
anymore.
like wrinkled now.
So longanisa usually comes in
links.
links
They're
of three.
sausages.
Links of three.
This one is pork, but it can also be chicken, I believe.
and usually has a red color.
Yes. And so how I cook it personally, like it's frozen. I mean, everything is
Yeah.
stored. But we did get this from Costco. It's made
Yeah,
in Canada.
they have
But it's
Costco.
like
longanisa at
3
Costco now.
packages for $15. So it's probably 3 packages for free
Fine.
American bucks, which is awesome.
And there's 5 links
and 5 links, which is usually bigger because we'd go to the Filipino stores again to get this because they probably order it, from the Philippines, all frozen up and everything. But it's also usually like 4 links. So the 5
Oh,
links,
God.
hey, that's good. But I would usually boil it up first, just get rid of the oily sebo, whatever that is, and then I actually just pop it in the air fryer, so I have no splatter. I don't like splatter in my kitchen.
Wow.
And it cooks in
Interesting.
like 10 minutes. So like 5 minutes, just boiling water,
the
just remove
tinfoil?
the sebo,
Amazing.
which is the oil, like the fat part, and then I just pop it into the air fryer, and in 10 minutes it's good. So delicious with rice.
Actually,
Very
Walmart has
very tasty.
lumpia. Did you guys know that in the frozen section?
Oh,
Walmart?
I've heard that.
Lumpia?
I tried it. It's
heard that.
actually not bad.
But you deep fry
Really?
it, right? You have to
No,
deep
I
fry it.
actually air fry.
Air fry it
Air
too.
fry.
You even
Air fry is
fry.
probably still really good.
Air
It's not
fry
Yeah.
is pretty
I was like-
magic.
I don't know.
I
Air
if
fry
use
is
for
the
that
best.
too.
weirded out
I
by
use
this,
for that
but
too.
This sounds amazing.
But
So you said
we're in the
it wasn't
topic
bad,
of
huh?
snacks. Check out
No,
my
it's-
ding dongs.
Snacks. Oh, I like ding dongs when I was
Oh
growing
my
up.
god, these are so good.
I don't know I don't know
Ding
any of
dong.
these. All
Maybe
I
know
know
is
you
Nick.
should start
I know
exploring your
Lay's chips.
Filipino aisles. Yeah, he knows Lay's chips, Ruffles,
The Lay's chips,
Doritos.
all the Clover chips. Are
We
so
should get
good.
a bunch of snacks,
Ooh.
Nick. We should get a bunch
Yeah,
of snacks.
we should walk.
Oh, I've had those.
This is
Yeah.
the clover chip.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
like-
I've had those. Those are great.
Okay.
And then you I don't know, when I was little, I'd have it rest on my tongue.
yeah, and they're like barbecue flavor, right?
This
Or
one's
a double
cheese.
flavor too. Like,
That's
these
cheese.
are actually like what I use when I go on road trips.
Yeah. And you know the
Just
thing
like
that
carry
with
it
these
and just like drink it.
packages, they're such a nice little package. They're a little bit bigger than the Halloween potato chips packages that
So
we
you
would
can
get here.
down like 5 of them.
Yeah, this was a
Yeah.
little bit more than that, so it's a bit more substantial, but nothing that's gonna overfill you. So it's a really good, like the Filipinos. Maybe that's a size large for the Filipinos. Who knows? But it's a perfect size small for me.
So when
Yeah,
you're
these
at the
are like-
Filipino, oh god,
Cornet, some peas.
Oh,
some
peas, yeah,
peanuts.
it's healthy, right?
Yeah,
I
I used to get
want
the
some
spicy
for
ones. That'd
you.
be pretty fire.
You have a store close enough, Fred, to pick those things up?
Mhm, mhm.
Like-
So when
Yeah,
we were at the
um,
Filipino restaurant, we were actually teaching everyone, well not every, like the non-Filipinos, how we eat with our fork and knife and how we cut and how
Oh.
we don't
Yeah.
use a knife.
You mean with
Um,
your fork and spoon?
Sorry, yeah, with our fork and
No
spoon.
knives. It's a
Oh.
Yeah,
skill.
we should have I should have recorded it, but I was teaching Ruth and her husband how to eat. And the stupid thing was, it's towards the end of the meal already, so we were all like pretty much just hanging out.
Because everybody sees it and just starts eating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, dang, I should have taught you guys how to eat like Filipinos and like eat like Filipinos. It's like,
Oh,
Yeah.
and then everybody was joking, like, what, with your hands? And they're like, no, not with the hand. I was like, with a fork and spoon. And they're like, a fork and spoon. And I was like, yeah, this is how to maximize the amount of food that goes into your mouth. And so
Absolutely.
you take the fork, you stab whatever the meat is, skewer it, leave it in, and leave it in place. And you take the spoon, you take the side of the spoon, and you use that to slice the piece of the meat that you're gonna eat. And then you take the spoon, you scoop that up, and then you take your fork out and you use the backside of the fork to scoop some rice onto that same spoon with the meat on it. And so now you have a nice spoonful of both your meat and your rice. Yeah. And then you eat it with the spoon. So for those of you guys who have not eaten like a Filipino before, it is fork, spoon, and forget the knife. It's all right there. You use the side of the spoon and it works just as effectively, especially if the meat is tender. Like the beef caldereta beef was super duper tender. It just was really easy to take apart. So they're like, dang, how efficient. And I was like, yeah. How do you think I got this? and so yeah, it was kind of funny. We should have recorded it and we should put it on
tutorials.
I didn't even know that was the Filipino way of eating. I thought that's just how you eat.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know
but it is
that was
true.
something.
They're cutting everything with your spoon and just shoving everything.
So I thought it was like a normal thing growing up until my friends were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm eating my food."
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I know. It was kind of odd. I was in first year of college eating at the cafeteria and just like eating like this. They're like, "What?" It's like a new thing for them.
And your entire plate is so clean, right? Like there's not a piece of rice left. You
not even a grain of rice.
Everything is all sopped up.
Another interesting thing about this restaurant, they actually had a karaoke station.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh dang.
The second time we went in there was a lady already showing off her singing skills in there. I think Rob was like mouthing the words too, just in the background.
They were very nice. They were very interested in where the hell we came from, because they're like, these guys don't look like they're from here.
So they didn't know, of course, about brick slopes.
No.
And
We
they're
told
like,
them
what? A
about
Lego convention?
I need to go to that.
Yeah, they had no idea, and then we told them that we were from the various places from around, and they were just shocked, and they were like, well, I mean, I guess I would have been shocked too if I owned a Filipino restaurant in Utah and people that are not from Utah were in there. I mean, it's like the one Filipino restaurant within the general vicinity, and oddly enough, there were a decent amount of Filipinos that would be walking in. Like they seemed like locals, or they're picking up their food that they had ordered or whatnot. So I guess it's not super. Clearly, seeing a Filipino is not super uncommon if there's a Filipino establishment there. So there's enough of a Filipino population to warrant a restaurant.
So it's very much family owned, and I guess whoever the family is, they're very much part of the.
The disappointing thing though was the second time we went. Yeah, they ran out of lumpia. They didn't even have any lumpia left.
And barbecue.
Wow.
And barbecue.
Did you guys go later in the day? Is that why?
We did go later in the day. But
how do you?
She just said that they ran out.
Wow.
And I guess this was Saturday?
A weekend. Yeah.
This was Saturday.
Maybe there was somebody who had like an order for a cotillion.
I know.
I need like 500 pieces of lumpia and all the barbecue.
The first time we went was Friday.
All bought.
And Friday was fine.
Yeah.
And even with the second time we went, they didn't have as many food stations.
Yeah.
So what'd you get the second time?
We did
just the halo, and then we left.
Yeah.
And then we went to Detroit style pizza.
Oh yeah, Nick was telling me about that.
313 via 313.
Yeah. So we had the second time we went, we had Gene and Shai and Emily and Ross. And me and Shai were kind of scoping out the joint, and we were scoping out like what they had, and we were the ones who inquired about what was left or if they had anything left. And then once they said they didn't have it, we were like, oh man, we should just go, because we didn't want to have
sour
everybody's we didn't want their first experience to be less of
Not
a
as
of a
positive.
thing, right?
Exactly.
So it was like so I was like, yeah, we want them to come back. We want them to try it again, try it again.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
since a lot of the non-Filipino friendly foods were not there, we decided to just have pizza instead. Which the pizza was really, really, really good.
Ah, that's what Nick. I don't know. What
It
this
Was
was
this your
excellent.
first time, both of you, having Detroit style pizza? Have you had that before?
I
Never
think
had it
so.
before. I haven't had it before.
Yeah, I haven't had.
Never heard of it.
So Nick was just.
It's like
saying
a
how it's
square, like
square.
rectangular pizza. Yeah.
Oh,
And then the crust is
It's like
done
deep
in a
fried
particular
or
way.
something.
Yeah, kind of like deep fried. So it was really good. Like you want to have the crust, like you want to eat the crust.
Yeah,
But
at,
it's
least,
not
at least for mine.
oily like Pizza Hut because I find Pizza Hut sometimes quite oily.
It's oily, but not too oily.
Mm.
There's oil.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It was
I
good.
know,
I had
it's
the meat lover one,
Yeah,
which
that's
was
what I
really
had too.
good.
The carnivore.
The carnivore.
Gulai?
That's it.
Mm.
No
But then
gulai.
most people had another one. I think Amor, you had one
Yeah.
that most people had.
I had the ambassador.
Wow.
The ambassador
Oh.
ambassador bridge, right?
Yeah, the ambassador bridge,
I like the
which
pepperoni.
it had like it was fairly meat heavy, and then it also had like a bunch of different cheeses on it.
Mm.
And
But it had
so,
these
like,
cute little white. I don't know what kind of cheese that was, but
It was
Mozzarella.
ricotta. It was
Ricotta?
ricotta. So yeah, it had like I think I'm trying to remember. There was like pepperoni, sausage, and then a bunch of cheese, and then it had these dollops of like ricotta on top.
Yeah, they look like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
boom,
they were like big
globs.
globs of cheese on
Were
top.
there pictures of these pizzas while
I
you're
know.
ordering, so you have an idea how something was gonna look?
No.
I'm gonna look. I'm
Me
gonna
and
look.
Maria
I'm
can
gonna
look
look
at
it.
them?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
look it up right now.
Because that usually helps me determine, like, ooh, I want to try that
Yeah,
one.
It was
or
just
I
the
want that
menu,
meal.
and it had the
And
descriptions.
so this chain isn't in California.
It's actually in
or
Austin.
Oregon. Oh, it's in Texas.
It's in Austin.
Yeah, I've
But
never
they're
been to
saying-
them. Yeah,
And then
put it in
they,
the chat here, the private chat here.
Oh.
I guess I could put it in the regular chat too. For
I had
people
pizza
watching
too.
along.
You know, I put scrambled eggs on
I'm
them.
hungry, guys.
Ooh,
What?
Scrambled
sounds
eggs
good.
on your
Yo, it's fire.
So
Ooh.
okay, yeah. So there it is. The
Like leftover
ambassador
pizza.
bridge, sausage, natural casing, pepperoni, fresh garlic, Italian oregano, house made
Ooh.
ricotta,
Mm.
sub plant based pepperoni. So there was
Damn.
2 types of pepperoni on it.
Hungry.
Oh no! You could sub it. Sorry, you could sub it. You could sub it. But yeah, it was sausage and pepperoni, which I noticed, and the ricotta, which you could mouse over it and it shows you a picture, and it had these big globs of ricotta on there. So it was
That
tasty.
looks
It was very filling.
gorgeous.
I had half
guys
of
see that?
mine, and I was so full. Like after that meal,
This
like
one.
I couldn't finish it. Like I took the other half.
You had
for later.
leftovers for an hour later, because usually after I eat pizza, an hour later I'm pretty hungry.
I had
again.
leftovers like 3 hours later in my room.
Yeah.
I eat the other half of it.
Yeah, I wish I had leftovers.
oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Fred could tell
We
this
got
story.
we were walking out of, I think, was it the expo hall with our food? Because we took the group
no.
picture.
We all had boxes. We all had boxes.
We all had boxes. We went back to take the big
Super
group
fun.
picture, and then we went to leave. And then Fred somehow, you were in the front. I think that's how it happened, right? You were in the front, and then this guy came out of nowhere, and he yells, "Is that pizza?" And Fred was like, here." Right? That's what you're like, "Here, it's all yours."
Yeah, I wasn't about to throw hands against some, random guy who was likely homeless, and I was like,
Yeah.
just so
good
that
of
he
you.
can,
That's good of
just
you.
so that he can, leave us alone, and that he had something to eat. I was like,
Mm.
Yeah.
here's a pizza. Here's half my pizza.
I know.
And then we just walked away, just so that he would leave us alone. And
Was
leave
the pizza
everybody
place
else alone.
walking distance to, or
No.
you had to drive there?
Nah,
too?
it was a
It was driving.
Oh,
drive.
okay. So
Yeah.
there wasn't really many places around the convention, like maybe just.
There was a burger place.
Oh
in
yeah,
walking
yeah, that's
distance.
right.
However, when
And-
Amor and I went on Sunday, it was closed because
oh,
I
yeah,
guess
Nick was
Sunday.
saying places were
things are closed on Sunday.
Yeah, that's a new thing.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
lot
So
of
we had a
things
burger at
closed
the
down.
hotel.
I
The burger at the
see.
hotel was really good.
Oh,
So we
Yeah.
just ended up eating there.
all right. So I'm
Nice.
glad it's a very positive experience. Maybe
It was
I'll
fun.
pop in.
You
next
guys,
year.
you guys
We'll
going back?
see.
You guys going back?
I liked it. We'll see
I'm
if
going back.
how schedules work out if
Yeah,
we can make it happen again.
it's on the schedule for me. Like I'll make the time to go back.
Brick for
Well,
VA is
Roll
getting a
D.
Jollibee.
Oh my! I know. You knew you're gonna push Brick Fair.
I know. Like, hey.
It's so hard.
If
It's
you're
so hard to kind of
local.
like pick and choose.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
know.
Yeah.
like Utah was such an easy trip for me. I know it was an easy trip for Amore.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not so much
It was
for
kind of easy for me.
Not for
We make
Nick.
things happen.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
so it definitely scratched the itch as far as going to Lego conventions. That'll be the last one for me for the year. And then
Yeah.
probably Bricks Cascade in March there with
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
TwitchCon
It's
though, isn't TwitchCon coming up?
That's
Amore. Yeah,
true.
that's why I said Lego convention.
For Lego, yeah.
for Lego, that's
TwitchCon October.
October 20th is
October
And where
20th
is
and
that?
22nd.
Where is
22nd.
TwitchCon?
Las Vegas.
Vegas this year.
Vegas.
They keep
Wow.
moving it.
It changes every year.
Every year.
Oh, why? What
For a
was it last
while
time?
they were doing it in like San Francisco, San Diego, a couple of different years.
Oh,
They
cool.
swapped back and forth. And then this is kind of the biggest departure. They decided Vegas was the one for this year.
What
So
hotel did they choose out of? Like, or their
Oh, is it on the
The
strip?
Mandalay Bay.
It's not on the strip. It's the Las Vegas Convention Center. So
Oh, okay.
it's a little ways, not way off the strip, but it's a little off the strip.
a little off of it.
Just a little off. But
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
be
that's
heading there
fun.
next month.
Oh,
with
very
Fred.
fun.
Weather should be good. October,
Yeah.
not too bad.
it'll be hit or miss. There's a possibility that it could still be pretty hot,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
it definitely won't be as hot as it is now.
No, I
Um,
know. This September, we're 30% into September.
Not
Speaking of
in it.
September, and it's been scorching last week.
Is that your segue into
Yes, my
Burr?
segue into Burrs.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm glad that obviously Kuyaroldi is prepared.
Totally.
Or should I say prepared for the BerMonths? Yeah, Tracy, it was I didn't get to meet you, but I did have a lot of fun. So hopefully next year,
Yeah.
that can be, I think, or if you're going to Brick World, I know a
Yeah.
lot of us are probably going to Brick World again
Yeah.
next year.
hope.
So that'll definitely be a thing. I know Brick Con is going on right now, but I
Oh
couldn't
yeah, that's right.
couldn't do that. Hot days and very hot nights, as
Yeah.
Zach. He's
Hey
promising
now.
Zach.
some hot nights at TwitchCon in Vegas. So it might not be temperature hot, but
But
figuratively
hot.
speaking,
You know what he means.
it's gonna be
Got it. What happens in Vegas?
Hot.
Well, wait.
stays in Vegas.
Speaking of hot, we didn't talk about the costumes that were seen at Brick
I
Slopes.
know that was so
Oh my
fun,
It's
guys.
costumes?
You don't know
We
about
need
the
to talk-
costumes?
we need to talk about the costumes.
Oh
we
my
had some
gosh.
costumes. We
We
had
had
the
some
we had the
costumes.
Did you guys like talk about this? How you guys
Oh, yeah.
were? It was like, oh wow,
Yeah,
it was
they're
so
fun.
funny.
we kind of talked. Well, we talked about them. Obviously, we have like the things that were costumes that we put on stream on our respective Twitch streams, and so Amisha's had Matcha Man, which
Yes.
is a take on Macho Man, but it's all green. Moore had his banana suit, which
Banana split.
is very impressive
cute.
because it's not just any old banana suit. You can unpeel the
was
top of
great.
it, and he got to unpeel it in front of tacos there at Brick Slopes. And then I have my cup and noodle costume, which is a staple at the Noodle House on Twitch. So we went around the lights out night, walking around in those. And then the next day, Ace and I had Lego brick costumes,
Those ones were great.
which people thought we were either staff or we were
Hired.
just like, we were like hired or something. We're like, no, we just did it just for kicks and giggles. And so there were random people stopping us and taking pictures of us or taking pictures with
That's
us,
awesome.
and it was a good time. It was fun to walk around with those and just have fun with it. And that's kind of what we I don't know. we kind of brought him just for kicks and giggles, just to have a little bit of fun and kind of just be ourselves. I think we talked about this on Crossing the Streams with on Amore's channel. We talked about how conventions like these and conventions in general, especially if they're around a specialized particular subject, it's easier to be yourself at places like these. So I know at Comic-Con, I feel comfortable like in cosplay and, and obviously at things like this, wearing Lego shoes and Lego costumes and just costumes in general, or letting people know that, hey, I stream on Twitch or whatever. And so that's what we definitely did at Brick Slopes. We're flying the colors for sure. Letting people know.
No, it totally made it so much more lively.
It was fun.
I was telling Amor he should get like a stud, like a circular Lego stud costume. That'd be cute.
No, I know more people saw those Lego brick costumes and were like, I need one. I need one.
I have one on my
Throne wish list, right?
On my Throne wish list, so I'm sure it'll happen at some point.
Zach has one on there. I know. I know AZ's aiming at getting one, and hopefully at Brick World, we just have a bunch of
different
studly guys. Yeah.
How big can someone be to be the plate? Like a full plate.
Full
Like everybody
a flat square,
and then you like run to them and you like have Velcro and you're just like, ugh.
Be a 48 by 48 grade.
Be a 48 by 48.
Handplant made one. She made just like a 1x1 brick or a 1x1 plate, and she did a good job. And she had it there at Brick World, and I was really impressed because she made it. And I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Oh, great.
That's awesome.
Like Lego cosplay.
Should be on
Harold can make costumes. Don't you make costumes for Harry?
Like Jaga.
Yeah, there you go.
AZ in the chat there.
Bag of bricks instead of prom picks next year. That's funny. Yeah.
On top of
AZ felt the FOMO because he wanted to be clutched up against me and Ace.
Yeah.
But we were getting into the BerMonths. So obviously, Kuya Roldi, what gives? What do you got? What do you got the Christmas gear on? So early? Question mark?
Never early.
Yeah. So in the Philippines, like they celebrate. There's no in between from Philippine Independence Day to, I guess, Christmas. They don't celebrate Thanksgiving or Halloween, so September is usually the time where everyone preps up for Christmas. I don't know, like the actual history, like why, but I just know right now in the Philippines, like they're already gearing up Christmas music.
They're listening to all, and I think all of the departments are decked out already in Christmas ornaments.
Cleared for Mariah.
Like yeah, for sure.
Cleared for Mariah.
For Christmas. But no, I think, the Philippines is very, very Catholic, right? So if anything, like that's their biggest festival really is Christmas, biggest celebration ever. And we were lucky ones to have gone to the Philippines over Christmas.
Right.
And I can only recommend going to the Philippines around that time. I know it's a bit tricky getting time off over the holidays, but we pretty much flanked Christmas to New Year's. And even, I was born in the Philippines, but I don't remember Christmas at all. Like I left fairly young enough that I don't have memories of the Christmas season. And whenever we would visit, it was over summer break. So never during the December, January cusp. And, it's a bit cooler, maybe in the Philippines around that time to go, maybe rainy, but
it's a dry season. But
you go to the Philippines and it's like Christmas is nuts. It's like Christmas on, I can't even
overload.
It's overload everywhere, and everybody's so happy and they're just excited that it's Christmas. So again, if anybody wants to visit the Philippines at any particular time, I think like Disney World, Christmas is also the time to go to the Philippines. And then of course, New Year's, it's next level of insane, because if we think the fireworks are
it's dangerous,
massive here, they actually have these huge warning big signs
Yeah.
on the highways when you're driving that actually extols the dangers,
It has like pictures of like kids with
like
their
mutated because of the injuries that they would
Injuries.
have sustained from. It's nuts. Like we're looking, we're like, oh my god. But the warnings are such that I don't think they really prevent people from buying. But I guess it happens more often than not, right?
because everyone's just
Brownouts.
doing it in front of their
Yeah,
house.
you just buy fireworks, and if we think 4th of July fireworks are next level, everybody just buys fireworks like crazy. So each neighborhood, depending which neighborhood, they almost have a competition of how they want these fireworks to go off at night. And so we wake up on December 31st, like morning, and I just hear
The whole
no, I hear like popping.
Yep.
And I'm like, what is that? Like it's broad daylight. And you know,
During
people
the
are
day.
like, they're practicing how their fireworks are going to be. I'm like, you're practicing, but like it's 12 hours away from, you know, countdown. And yeah, it's just lit up insane with fireworks. Everybody's so excited. So yes, the holidays definitely in the Philippines, they it's a serious sport. Christmas and New Year's is a serious sport. So
Mhm.
Burr month, you know, the September, October, November, December, totally leads up to that crazy,
Mhm.
crazy expectation of Christmas. So
Yeah, growing up, I mean, like you said, BerMonths, like it'd be September already, and I'm excited for Halloween. I have my costume ready, or my ideas for my costume ready, and it's September 1st, September 2nd. My mom is decorating the house, and I'm like, we haven't even experienced Halloween yet or Thanksgiving. What are you doing? And you're playing Christmas music already? And then I will always remember the first time she explained this. She was like, Anak, it is the Burr months. I was like, what do you mean Burr months? It's freaking it's 98 degrees outside in September. What do you mean? She's like, it is September, which gives in which we celebrate Christmas already. September, October, November, December. It is also the time that you say what when it's cold outside? Burr. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yep.
Like, no, that doesn't make sense. And I was like, that's not how it should be. What do you mean? We have Halloween, we have Thanksgiving, and so that was
Yes.
like the explanation of her own clearance of being able to start decorating and start
yeah.
listening to Christmas music. And Mariah Carey, like AZ Pinoy said in the chat, on September 2nd, Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" received 316,000 streams on Spotify on September 1st, a 75% increase compared to the same day in 2022. And so Mariah Carey retweeted that and said, I'll allow it for my Filipino lambs, though. I don't make the rules. She knows, like
She
Mariah
knew.
Carey knows. Yeah, she
Serious
knows
business.
that the Filipinos do be having them Burr months. And so this past Tuesday, I kind of played into it and I built this from the Lego group. Lego sent this on over to me.
Yeah.
And this is out on October 1st. This is the Millennium Falcon holiday diorama, complete with holiday sweaters for Ray and Finn.
They are ready.
And yeah, so they've got an unlock, and this is, I think, a limited release that they'll only have from October 1st to December 31st, and it'll retail for
I love it.
$29.
I love that.
Yeah, $29.99 US dollars is what it'll
Okay.
retail for.
That's awesome.
I didn't know it was going to be
Lego.
limited.
Yeah,
Lego.
Lego's getting
Somebody, was it Jean?
In on
She actually Halloweened up her set. So
Oh,
she's like, just grab
yeah.
some spider webs and some, you know, like ghosts and stuff like that. So before Christmas, let's make it a little bit more Halloweeny first. And then I think she's going to
I love what
revert
she
back
did with
to,
that.
Christmas. That's very fun. But I didn't realize that set was coming out soon.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah,
fun.
I didn't know
it was a good build. I really enjoyed it. And Zach brings up a good point too. I guess I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas kind of works. You can totally just have Nightmare
That's
Before
true.
Christmas decor.
Yes.
Up,
This is Halloween.
yeah, throughout all of the Burr
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amor, growing up, did you experience the Burr month at home as well?
I think it was very low key. My mom would she would start in September, but it was always like a little bit every week, right?
Yeah.
I think she was trying to like be
Settle.
very sneaky with it, just given
Mhm.
that, you know, how, as I've said in previous episodes, like there was really no major Filipino presence in our our neighborhood, let alone our whole town. But like
Right.
inside, it would like start in September, and I think my dad and her would really push like the outside Christmas lights like as early as they could, but knowing that the neighbors would be like,
Yeah, HOA.
"What are you guys doing over there?"
Yeah.
But it was definitely low key. But I definitely recognized in September things would start like popping up in the house, like the decorations and things like that. And I'd always be like,
paroles.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what's going on? What is? But my mom would low key do it for sure. And I never made sense of it until I was a little older. I think maybe like I mean, it was somewhat normal to me.
Yeah,
I knew
yeah,
that
yeah.
it wasn't like something everyone did, and I did chalk it up to like a Filipino thing when I was like a teenager, and then like it came up in conversation, and it was like, yeah, this is a thing that just occurs like in these last 3 months of the year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Correct.
For us, we didn't really do the BerMonths, but we would decorate for Halloween. So she'd go crazy decorating for Halloween, my
His
mom.
mom.
And then once Halloween was done, then she would bring out her like Santa animatronics
Crazy.
and all these like movable things.
Anything that was
Wow.
moving
She
from
would always
Costco
so you guys don't have Boxing Day, but Boxing Day is I guess
after Christmas.
after Christmas.
Pac-Man.
And she would always get these animatronics on Boxing Day because it
Clearance,
would be
right?
50% off or whatever,
Mhm.
80% off. Like most people would get like stereos and electronics, but my mom would get Christmas decorations.
and one of them was like a life-size Santa.
Yeah, it
And
was like
so
6-foot-tall Santa
they
at
even
the front.
shipped that to the Philippines at their house there, and it goes ho ho ho.
But like
Merry
during
Christmas.
even
Like,
during Halloween, has like life-size witch and
yeah,
life-size
she loves
Yeah.
butler. That would scare the kids whenever they would come, and
his mom's like next level.
and they would like
party
move and everything, all
Yes.
this stuff. So she's big into decorations.
Yeah.
That's what her love is. And
Yeah.
even now they're in a condo. Their whole storage unit is where they keep
Decorations.
the decorations for
all the
whatever
different
season
events.
is.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's still there. And I know in the Philippines, their house too has like all those
yeah.
decorations.
All the reindeers and everything, and
But yeah, it would go out in November. So right
Yeah.
after Halloween, that's when things would start
Yeah.
coming out, and then the tree would come up and decorating the tree.
yeah.
We would do the tinsel back then, I remember, but nobody does tinsel anymore.
No, tinsel so 80s.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
So cute. Oh, you do tinsel still? Yeah, no, we
Yeah,
put our
tinsel.
tree up, I think, right after Thanksgiving too, like
For you
me
guys?
growing up. But then we would extend it to like, is it like
March.
the wise man? There's a
Ah.
wise man for sure festival in
the-
January. But then my family and I would keep pushing it till February. And I'm like, can we just keep it until like my birthday, which is the end of February? And so we would like it'll our instead of it being in the BerMonths, right? We kind of have an extended
Aries,
Christmas.
the
But I
Aries
remember like
months.
friends would come and they're like, why do you guys still have your tree up? Why do you guys have your Christmas lights
Yeah.
up? And I
totally.
think that's another like indicator for any neighborhoods here. If you have Christmas tree lights up still, they're like, oh, a Filipino lives there,
because
right?
they're too
Like,
lazy to bring it
yeah,
down.
they're like, we'll do it when it's spring, when everything's thawed, and it's not so maybe crazy to climb up there and gather things around. But some people would leave them all year long. I don't think that's my parents, but that was basically our Christmas. And my Lolo would make paroles every
Yes.
year. And
Do you guys know what pearls are?
and so that's
Mhm.
Harold's new project.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
right.
my new project. I mean, like my experience with like the BerMonths was kind of like a Moore's. My dad was actually the one who's really into decorating. So even now, he just sent me a picture, last weekend of him buying a whole bunch of like these pine tree like tinsel things for
Mm.
his next upcoming like winter project. I'm like, what the heck? Like my room right now and my house or my parents' house is just filled with like these pine tree
Oh.
branches, artificial pine tree branches.
So glad you moved out.
And then I was like, is this like a jungle thing? My room? So weird. But yeah, it would start like decorating inside, just greenery everywhere.
Yeah.
And then that's when my dad would also buy more Christmas lights. Like half of my garage is Christmas decorations. He's like really big into that.
So
Mm.
outside and inside then.
Yeah,
So your dad more than your mom.
yeah.
It's
My dad more than my mom. He's more like the crafty person. I think that's where I got
Crafty.
like
Mm.
tinkering with stuff with my hands. That's why, as Atemahan said, like paroles. Nick, if you could like pull up the picture. So this is a Filipino parole.
Yeah.
is basically a star that's handmade with bamboo sticks. You can use like any kind of like construction paper or anything to decorate your star, but then also down in the bottom, it's like I call it like a little making snowflakes. But
Yeah,
basically, that's
same.
like tissue paper, and just like it
Just drapes
folds
down
out.
with all this origami
I
cuttings.
haven't seen the bottom part.
Yeah, my
before.
Lola would do that, and then I don't know, like he'll cut like make little slits out of a flat paper, and then when it drops down, and usually they'll have the base as like maybe like even a paper plate, right? Like
Yeah.
the top of that part.
So you can make it like a different kind. So this is like a more
Shells,
with,
elaborate.
I forgot what shells these were.
They're not capiche shells, but they're like
Yeah.
the tiny little shells that you
Like
can
these
find
are
on
like
the
tiny
beach
shells. So you
too.
can make it like different materials
Yes.
and stuff like that.
And then
It's
just
actually
even a
really,
wreath
it gets
around.
like really fancy.
I like the capiche shells. This white one over here on the
this one.
left. I wish I could find something here in Canada, but like again, you would have to probably order it from the Philippines, and somehow, hopefully, it won't break on the way here, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
they're still pretty
Mm.
fragile, like the capiche shells. When they create them, but all over the Philippines, again, it's so decked out.
So
in
where
a
would
lot
you
of the
guys
world.
hang it, Harold?
So you could hang it like I would hang it inside your house. We hanged one of these, like the picture shown, outside, and the wind kind of knocked one of them out.
Oh, I didn't even
no.
think
And
of
these came
that.
from the Philippines, and my dad wasn't too happy.
No.
So nowadays we just hang it like out or inside the windows, showing outside.
Right. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I see
Right.
that too. Well, especially
Um,
here, like it's so wintry, right? Like it will get logged with snow.
Yeah.
That
So
it's
usually
usually
around
indoor
this
season.
time, my family usually visits the Philippines because it's my nanai's birthday in July. So I remember one time my dad bought 5.
Oh wow!
These are like the
Wow.
5 big boys too.
Yeah.
How did you bring that back? My gosh.
Yeah. They somehow made it back in the States, but it's the bulbs that you want to be careful with because the voltage is very different back in
Oh.
PI.
Oh.
So I think
Alright.
I remember one of them like it burst.
Oh, and then there's no like replacement, I guess, right?
Yeah, there's no replacement. I think it shattered like one of the panels. So it went,
Wow.
yeah. But like it was mentioned, I'm trying to make one. I think that's my 3rd attempt. This I always get like kind of I don't know, unmotivated to finish one. So this year I'm gonna finish one. My dad actually makes these. He never taught me, but I remember helping him out. So
And those are just from what kind of material you're using right now
yeah,
to create the
so I
frame?
actually got these on Amazon today. So first up is like getting
Oh.
bamboo sticks.
Real
So
bamboo
you want to
sticks.
get the nice like flat ones. That's because when you make 2 star shapes, you're gonna put these dowels. So you also need to get like these dowel sticks
At the edge?
or rods.
Oh, okay.
Cut it into like an inch and a half, and it's gonna like pretty much bend. So you want it to bend without snapping. That way you get that 3D star shape. And then I'm gonna put like tissue paper. Since I love doing LEDs with Lego, I'm gonna put LEDs into this.
Oh, cool.
as well. Yeah. I'm trying to make it
That's
USB
extra.
more friendly.
That's cool.
But yeah,
Nice.
it's something like I said, I grew up watching my dad do this, and this is kind of like me honoring his, I guess, craftsmanship. Yeah.
No, that's great, right? How do we keep on
Preserving.
our culture and
Yeah.
our memories that we
Yeah.
have from childhood, right?
Hopefully,
Right.
when I start building this outside, like my son will appreciate.
Harry
He
will
likes
watch you.
arts
Yeah.
and crafts right now. So
Well, AZ was saying that they actually have it as a school project back in the Philippines when he
Yeah.
was there. So
Ah,
I guess each person could bring it home.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I've never made one before. We always just bought them,
No.
and they were bought at a local, store like here. Like
Yeah.
I guess they would import them from the Philippines,
Right.
and they would sell them at the local stores here. So
yeah.
again, being here in Southern California, like
Enough of
it's
a
accessible.
availability.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's not we don't have to go as far as going to the Philippines, buying
Yeah.
one there, and importing it.
yeah,
which is nice. But I've never made one before.
Mhm.
I don't think my mom's more the crafty one. I don't think she's ever made one before.
I can
you
imagine
know.
it being difficult because it's the whole 3D shape of it, right? Like you have to create. Like I just watched my grandfather,
So
but
your Lolo made them.
didn't have enough of an
How did
interest.
he advertise? Because he sold them.
Yeah, he sold them, and here
Wow.
in the Filipino stores, you have like I guess a local Filipino newspaper.
Oh, the
So
balita.
sometimes he puts an ad through it, but I think he
Hmm.
would bring like a sample in the store,
Okay.
and then the store will call him up and say, "Hey, like 10 or so people ordered it." But that's sad.
How much was he selling it for?
I think he was selling for 20. Like it was so little. Like it was something for
$20.
him. Like he was such a busybody. So
Yeah.
after he retired, he did so many other like
Yeah.
life projects, like and so the parole was just something that he started doing when they got here in
That was his
Canada.
Lego.
And that was his Lego, right? But at one point, I think like his orders were such that he had to start in September to
Mm.
start churning them out, and even
I saw them in his bedroom. They were
Yeah.
all hanging in
and
his
even
bedroom.
even over the summer he'd have to collect like the materials for it and stuff like that.
Mm.
But it kept him busy, and I mean, he didn't overly charge for them, but it was just something extra for him to keep busy because he was a busybody. Like if we didn't get him busy like that, he would be doing all sorts of reconstruction in the house, and my parents would come home like, why is there another hole in the wall? Like stop
Yeah.
But it
doing
was
this
like
to our house.
makeshift Filipino style
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
renovations.
That's right. So
Yeah,
yeah,
at least he didn't
I
take
mean,
apart a ping pong table like AZ's
Wow.
like grandpa did.
yeah.
That's
He
amazing.
did make us a ping pong table. That's another thing my grandfather
How
made.
did he? Out of
I don't
what?
know. He had like a huge board, and yeah, that was, and then he was painting it green and white and all
Filipino
that.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's so funny. Yeah.
That's
I
great.
mean, luckily we don't have to worry about snow here at
Mhm.
here in Southern California. So I mean, we had one outside, and kind of one of the cheaper ones, so it didn't get knocked over by the wind and
Mm.
break. And then
Yeah.
all the ones were all the rest of them were indoors, above kind
Yeah.
of doorways or above windows. But the meaning, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken, is the star that guided the wise men on over
Yes.
to Jesus. And so for those who are unaware of what it's supposed to mean, and so the parole is a very, very popular thing to have in the Philippines, to invite other people, to invite people, let people know, hey, Jesus is here, Jesus is in this
Mhm.
household, come celebrate with us, and kind of guide people to those homes that are welcoming and that are celebrating Christmas and willing or wanting to celebrate with other people. And so that's why it's such a popular thing. That's why it's such a thing for a lot of Filipinos to have to do that. And I guess why it's so popular, why it's so important for a lot of Filipinos to have it. So, and I feel like I feel like a need to have one.
I know. I was thinking that too. In the background,
Yeah.
as we have through our December months, just a parole back here.
Right. I at least just have one in the home somewhere. Like
Yeah.
like you said, carry on the Filipino tradition and culture. Like it never really dawned on me until you have you're living you're
Yeah.
by your own or not with your parents. And you're just like, damn, like
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I need to zhuzh up this place.
Yeah. How
Maybe
do
not
you
as
incorporate?
early as September. No. I got
Do Halloween
Halloween.
first. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I got Halloween and Thanksgiving to take care of first. But I know for us it was like, because it was weird to have, my mom was pretty aware of the fact that we shouldn't have a Christmas tree in like in the background whenever we open the door to trick-or-treaters. You're like,
Yeah. I mean, that could be a
Cobwebs.
Halloween.
Cobwebs.
right. She was like, we probably shouldn't have that stuff up that early. It's typically, I think you guys said, I don't know if you guys said it before we started recording, but Black Friday or that week of Thanksgiving was typically when the house would for sure be at 100% pure Christmas mode.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of
What's
our
the
friends
earliest
also
you guys
buy
set up your
fresh
Christmas
trees.
stuff?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What's
Was
the
it Black
early?
Friday?
Yeah, for us,
Yeah.
after Black Friday.
Yeah.
Black
Yeah.
Friday.
The
It's like-
latest
it's
December
full
1st.
Christmas.
The latest
Yeah.
is December 1st because we want to do the Advent calendar and have the Christmas tree already up. We should do the Advent calendars with the kids.
Yeah.
The Lego Advent calendars.
Yes.
Ever since like
Although
that's fine.
during the pandemic season, I have bought like a smaller Christmas tree in a pot.
Yes.
And I've
All year
actually
round.
capped that tree up in one of our corners with all of my
Yeah,
favorite ornaments because I'm like, I feel like I should just see you all year long.
It's all year round.
You know, so it's still upstairs. It's in a corner. Sometimes I come home from work and I plug it in and I just get all, cozy.
It's funny,
like
during-
Cindy Lou Who.
During Full of Brick, sometimes when we do show and tell, I'll go upstairs. It's the summertime. Harold be like, "Is that your Christmas tree still?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
Up
but that's
in
like our
June.
small Christmas tree.
Like,
and
yeah,
then we have a
that's
bigger Christmas tree. But
Maria's Christmas tree.
I was going to also mention a lot of our friends here. I don't know how it's like there, but they're very much into real Christmas trees.
Yeah, we never
Fresh
did that.
Christmas
Mm.
trees.
Did you guys do that?
And so maybe I guess we have the
my
Christmas
friends
tree
did.
farms here. I guess we're north enough for all the pine trees, but a lot of our friends love it, and
Yeah.
I guess it makes the house smell very aromatic.
It's hard
yeah.
though if you have carpet.
But it's
Yeah.
a lot of shedding, right? Because it is a plant, and you have to
Yeah.
put it, of course, in a lot of water for it to keep on a kind of spruce. But it probably has like a 2-3 week lifespan, and
Yeah.
then by January again, it's all Christmas trees are on the curb for the recycling guy to pick up. But it's always
Yeah.
so pretty. It does smell like very pine coney. Like,
Oh yeah.
Growing up, we had Filipino neighbors like just a couple houses over, and they always had a real life Christmas tree
Tree,
that
yeah.
they would have in there. But they'd have like marble floors. Like,
yeah,
not marble,
so it's
but
easy
like
to clean
the tile
versus just
floors.
vacuum from.
yeah.
But yeah, I guess on one hand, you're not storing any Christmas trees over the year, and a lot of the times people go and cut down their own Christmas tree. Like you'll go to a Christmas tree farm and go and select what you want, and somebody will chop it up for you. So that's a
We've had the same Christmas
thing.
tree since 2004.
yeah, it's as old as our kid.
Yeah, we always joke
Wow.
that it's as old as our son.
We brought
Old
Tristan
Christmas tree.
home. Yeah, we brought Tristan home, and Nick's like
We need a Christmas tree.
Yep,
Because we
okay.
just bought this house that year, but
earlier.
in
yeah.
January. But then come December, we didn't have a Christmas tree yet. And then
Yeah.
so
Wow.
It still works.
I
You
never
brought
had.
Amor, you
I
guys
never
had
had.
a
go ahead.
fresh one? You never had a fresh one? I feel like
No, I was
within
gonna
your
say. I
general
was gonna say
vicinity,
we.
you would.
I was
you
gonna say we
should.
never. Yeah, that's where I was going. We never had a fake one
Oh.
until
Yeah.
until well into my adulthood,
I
actually.
see.
Oh,
So
okay.
growing up as a kid, it was always a real Christmas
Fresh.
tree up until I was an adult. It wasn't until a couple years, I think, after I got out of college, my parents started going, we're just going to start doing like
Yeah,
a fake
yeah.
one. But we've always done real Christmas
Fresh.
trees. Yeah, I mean,
What is
because
that
of where I'm
process?
located.
How do you do that? You go to like a Christmas
Mhm.
farm or something and put it
Well,
in your
the-
station wagon?
It's
Like they do
I
on
mean,
TV?
You can, although even like around here, there's just like places that they set up in like say a parking lot, like
Yeah.
a grocery
Okay.
store parking lot, where they just have a bunch of fresh trees ready to
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
and you can pick out kind of the by height and size. Say I want
by
that one,
width.
You
and
put it
it's
on the
kinda-
top of your car?
yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
it's just ready to go. You put it on top
All
of your
wrapped.
car. You strap it down. You drive it home, and then you just put it on the stand. You have a little stand that it screws into,
Nice.
and yeah, I mean, when my wife and I moved into our home, or when we started living together, we would get a small real tree for several years, and then we did that for a while, and then like my own parents, we were kind of like, okay, it's a pain in the
Yeah.
it's a pain in the butt to do the whole thing, because then you have to dispose of it, right? You have to get rid
Yeah,
of it. So
in the
you
front
get
yard?
yeah, you'd have to drive it either to a
Gotta
place
mark
to
the
get
walls.
it disposed
up.
of, or
Mhm.
or you could set that up with your trash
Okay.
service
Pick it
to pick it up too. But it was a very small window, so you'd have to make sure it was like ready to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, we eventually were like, it's too much, so we started doing just a plastic tree over the last
Yes.
LED
Several
lights.
LEDs already installed.
And they all change colors. You can have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
purple or
Yeah, so
Oh, the
we've
smart-
kind of
smart
gone
one?
down that road, but I've had real trees for ever since I
Oh,
could
cool.
remember, and it
yeah,
wasn't
That's
because
until
you're
I was
also
an
that
adult.
region of
That's cool.
Oh yeah, it
of
was real
Balkans,
easy to
yeah.
get one, and we'd have it ready to go within like a week after like
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. We'd have one. My dad would already be like setting it up in
Yeah.
the corner of the living room, and you could smell
So
it. and
exciting. Yeah.
I always associate those memories with the smell of a real
Yeah.
Christmas tree,
Yes.
because it was like that every year growing up. So
Yeah, very cool.
I was just gonna ask, like, if you ever smelled a Christmas tree now, you'll have those memories when your
Oh, yeah.
childhood memories.
all the time,
Triggers.
all the time, and it was really weird for me not to have a real tree for years after when we switched. So
Did you ever
still a
spray it
little-
with the scent? Just like
Yeah. I
No.
think so.
But I should get some this year. And just
Yeah, I
should.
think
spray it
Bath and
down.
Body actually has some sort of fur
Yeah.
or balsam or something. Christmas Day it's called, and it smells like that.
Pine
you know?
Febreze.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
But
Or
grow
another
candles.
candle or something.
Yeah,
Another-
we'd have
ano-
candles for sure. We've
Yeah.
lit candles that smell like that. But yeah, growing up here in Oregon, it was just like, I did have that classic like American Christmas experience with those Filipino parts of it. But one core memory is always like a real tree decorated, ready to go, and it would be there for as long as my dad could keep it fresh, right? Like
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
he would water,
imagine.
he would keep it watered and
Mhm.
alive as long as he could during like the whole of like late November through December.
Yeah,
And then he'd be like, okay, it's time to get this thing out of here because
Yeah.
he'd get sick of it at some point. But yeah, that was just a core memory, man, was like the decorating early, my mom sneaking stuff in throughout the September, October, November months, and then just having a real tree in late November through all of December. And yeah, it's just burned into my brain. I can smell that tree like every
Yeah.
holiday. So,
Aw.
yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Another memory I always remember was growing up. December 1st, we'd always put our stockings up, and then
Oh.
every morning, it wouldn't be every day, but like it would be dispersed. There'd be something you'd see a bulge in the stocking,
His Santa was way better
and
than
so like
my
you touch it,
Santa.
and then there'd be a toy in there, and so I don't know if it was just
you.
us doing it. I don't think
No, that's
it's
just
it's
you.
a North American
Just
thing,
you.
but yeah, we always get like
You've had
stuff like that.
if your mother was so crazy about Christmas decorations, she was crazy about gifting.
Yeah,
So
so
when we first had one kid,
I would do that
sort
for
of
him.
Happened to, and I'm like, Nick,
Oh.
I don't think we can sustain this. Like, and Nick was doing it like every day. I'm like, yo, this is like
It
a
wasn't
regular
every
size
day.
toy.
But then he was excited about it.
He would be excited, and I'm like, but what's gonna happen for Christmas Day? Right?
Yeah.
Like, what's Santa?
It's like
gonna
you wanna
bring?
Deal with your kids what was happening for you.
I suppose.
Yeah.
So we just have the advent calendars, but even
Yeah, now
advent
it's the advent
calendars was
calendars.
something I didn't personally grow up with. I think my parents would only buy advent calendars after Christmas, and because it's on clearance, and they're like, "Oh, look, there's like 25 chocolates here." I'm like, "Oh, great!" And I'll eat them all like in the same
In one sitting.
day.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. It was not imparted onto me like what the
You should
advent
have like
calendar
a
countdown
December
was,
1st
right?
advent calendar, December 2nd advent calendar.
Yeah.
You just get
No,
a
we
whole
didn't have
calendar
that.
for each day.
So I feel like only my kids, by the time I married this guy, that's when we started doing advent calendars. Like, oh, that's what these are.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it, but like I never grew up with
You
it.
had to
Like my
search for the
parents came when
numbers.
I was like already 10, 11, right? So we just saw them in the
yeah.
stores here. And
So
I'm
they
like,
didn't have
huh.
advent calendars in the Philippines. or
No,
Brunei?
it's not in the Philippines. I don't think so.
Mhm.
I mean, the Philippines are counting down as of September 1st already. However,
Right.
they're counting down, right? So
Oh
who cares
man,
what
can you
advent
imagine
calendar
an advent calendar that counted down
Yeah.
from September 1st?
I know.
Yeah.
Or getting a gift on September 1st and a gift every day
Wow.
till
Yeah.
Oh my
Christmas.
god.
So I just
crazy.
think it's
Wow.
I think it's just the overindulgences again of just being in North America, because even Brunei, that was like it was very much under British rule for some time, and they had a lot of British influences. I never recall seeing an advent calendar in any of the like British stores there. So I think it's very much a North American countdown, and however that's spread in the world, if it is, I think it very much originated from our capitalism.
And now most people are doing those elf on the shelves, but we don't. do
yeah,
that.
oh yeah, we haven't done that.
Snoop on the
Never did
shelf.
that.
That's fun, dude.
No, we don't have elf on the
I
shelf.
have
It's just,
friends who have
it's
a
just
lot
being
of
threatened.
Yeah.
It's just being threatened.
Yeah.
The Santa's not going to give you. Yeah,
That's
you're not going to get the
right.
gift from Santa.
That's
Like,
right.
Damn, I want that Nintendo 64. I'm going to shut up right now.
Yeah.
That's right.
Same.
It was very
Yeah.
powerful, those words.
Right. Just the threats alone was my elf on a shelf. It was just like, behave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't need.
Wrong with
I
the
didn't need
kids
an elf.
nowadays.
Yeah, I didn't need an elf to report whether or not I was naughty or nice. It was already instilled in me, like someone's
Yeah.
watching, like he's here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I better.
Report cards too.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I better get my grades up. Otherwise, I'm not going to get my Lego set for Christmas.
Yeah.
Santo Niño on the shelf, dude.
Every
Santo-
Filipino household.
Santo on the shelf, dude.
That'd be
That's
scary
it.
if your Santo Nino was
little
moving
bits.
from place to place.
That would be a
Yeah,
whole
no.
different
Was it the
Filipino
nun?
experience, I think. Maybe on the
I'm
verge
good,
of
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm good, dude. Those
Oh
things,
my God.
some of those freak me out. Some of
They
those
do.
are too
Same.
realistic.
They
Same.
do.
They freak
The
me out.
eyes are just like they look like they're just like
Oh,
watching
yeah.
you, and I'm like,
But
Yeah.
you've heard too. I know that we're kind of verging a little bit from Christmas to like this kind of realm now, but you've heard of like some like crying real tears and then people
Yeah.
collecting those tears or
Of the
Yeah.
Santo Nino.
yes, or things coming
Yeah.
out of their hands, like the blood of Christ or whatever.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
heard of like family houses here that would have that, and hordes of Filipino will like make it to those houses to just see what the phenomena is. And I don't know how they do it, but I'm like, yeah, we're gonna stay out of that. When
Yeah.
you hear those stories, you're just like,
I have a story with my Santo Nino. Did I ever tell that on
Oh.
here?
not today.
No, haven't heard.
Not today, but I mean in general.
I don't think I've
No.
heard your Santa Nino story.
I don't
No,
think
no.
we've talked about Santo Nino until Lego set over there.
So Lego Santo Nino over there.
Legos.
So we had obviously we had the Santo Nino, and then it was a big deal because I was named. Part of my
Yeah.
name is Nino,
Yeah.
and it was when I was still it's still an infant, but I was able to stand up in my crib, and yeah, I was able to stand up on my crib already. But
Get
then,
them
whenever I'd be woken up, whenever I woke up from sleep, I would cry from my mom or whatever, just as babies do. And so anytime I was waking up, whether it was like a big noise, like a big bang or whatever, I'd wake up and I'd be crying. And so there was once a pretty big earthquake. We were living in LA at the time. My parents and little me were living in LA at the time, and there was an earthquake, a pretty big one. And my mom was like, for sure he's gonna wake up, and for sure, he's gonna be crying. And so she didn't get to me right away because it was a pretty big earthquake. She, made sure she was safe and she knew I was safe. And she didn't hear me crying. And she was like, that's weird. Like that he should definitely be awake and he should definitely be crying. Instead, as she got closer to the room, she heard me laughing.
Stories like this creep me out. You have no
I
idea
know,
how many stories are rolling right now.
It freaks me out too. I mean, hey, we're closer to spoopy season than we are to Christmas. So
Yeah.
here you go, chat.
Oh my God.
Here you go, guys. So she heard me laughing, and then she then goes into the room where my crib was, and she saw me reaching out for the Santo Nino and laughing with the Santo Nino as if the Santo Nino was, keeping me
creeps now coming down.
keeping me company.
Wow.
This is very.
making me-
I can't do this.
I
This
know
is
it's
how
weird,
those
right?
scary movies start, man.
It's weird, right?
Wow.
I
No, it
love
wasn't
it.
Krampus.
tickling you.
It was Santo Nino.
What is that, right?
I mean, likely it was like, hey, it looks like a really cool toy. It was like a
Yeah.
it's like a really cool toy. It looks like
Yeah,
it looks like a GI Joe, and I'm trying to accessorize it with, different clothing, or it could be something else,
Or there was some supernatural things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
that wasn't recorded.
maybe.
Oh man, that would be great.
Oh my god! If it
found
was like
footage.
on a Ring doorbell or one of those security cams.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they're not as popular, or they weren't as popular then. But I'm sure if it happened today,
That would be
It would-
What is
amazing.
it with like?
That's why I
any-
never
Back then,
bought
they would just-
like a baby cam.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause, like,
Yeah.
What's
I
with
don't
like
know what
religious
would-
relics, and the Philippines is so religious, and then twisting it for like
Kuya
a
Joey.
supernatural feel that just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. Right?
I don't
like. It
I don't
just
blame you.
feels real. I don't know.
I mean, I heard all sorts of crazy stories from my parents, especially my dad,
Yeah.
who grew up
I love those stories.
poor, and he had all sorts of crazy supernatural mumu stories or
Oh,
aswang
yeah.
stories
I
or
want to meet your dad.
Yeah.
or brujeria stories, like his aunts and his mom would have all sorts of weird kind of
Yeah.
wild kind of things to
We need
like
to
help
collect
heal
these
people.
stories for the Halloween special at Halloween.
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah, I need to
that's
go-
homework.
need to go talk to my dad about these and tell you guys
Oh my
about
God.
Yeah.
how he would never walk by this particular tree in his neighborhood unless
I don't want to hear that.
unless he was walking next to a car. Like he had to wait for like 10 minutes for like late at night for a car to walk next to you because he didn't want to walk by this tree at night. He was like,
Wow.
I'm not walking by this tree until another car comes by so I can run next to the car and not not past this tree by myself. And I was like, damn, that's serious.
Yeah. I love these stories.
So you guys were warned about the moo too,
The moo
because that was always the threat.
That's the threat. That's the threat. Who, don't go up there.
There's a moo
Don't go up the stairs.
We're gonna get you.
Don't go there.
But I don't know
Moo-moo
what a
get-
moo looks like.
But it's a moo
They didn't say the moo, but I don't know what a moo looks like.
The Momo will get you there.
A moo exactly.
Hala.
Totally. All
Yeah.
sorts of childhood memories.
I'm curious to Google image moo now.
Go ahead.
Because
Yeah,
back then
no,
when we
you
were a
don't
kid,
want to Google image
we don't-
anything.
Yeah,
no.
What's up,
Google
Kuya
it.
Joey? Yeah. Don't do it, dude. Those
Don't
those
do it.
I don't know about you guys, but my parents with my mom especially would rent those Tagalog horror movies
Oh,
from
yeah.
our local stores. So we obviously went to a local Filipino store and they
Yeah.
had like a video rental, and they had those Filipino movies
Yes.
to rent there. And every so often it would be a Filipino horror film, and those are freaking scary, dude. Those are the scariest.
Yes, they're like
Movies.
next level.
I've never seen
Yeah.
I've seen
Halloween. I mean,
horror Filipino, they're like
Filipino.
next level.
They're messed up, dude.
They're so crazy. I don't
Wow.
know. We gotta maybe try, but I don't know. I can't do horror movies anymore. I
Oh man.
reach an age in my life. Like when I was younger, I was all about like everything, like Freddy Krueger, Halloween, all of it. Like I was unfazed, and now I see the trailer of the Nun, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't do it.
dude. I'm supposed to watch that on Wednesday, and I'm
That's
not
what-
looking forward
I
to
don't
it.
know about
Oh,
that.
are you?
man.
Oh my God, tell us
I don't
about
know.
it.
I'm not looking
Oh.
forward to seeing it. I saw the first one in theaters, and I was forced to, and now I have to
Are you
watch the
forced
second
to
one.
too now? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
am.
there was
I
a
am.
video
Easy to
of the Nun 2 premiere, and then people dressed up as the faceless nuns.
Yeah,
And
no
they were
thanks.
walking out. You
Nope.
saw that? I was like, oh
Nope.
no.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
AZ Pinoy just posted Tabi po Nuno. I say that all the time.
What's Tabi Puno now?
So Nuno is like a spiritual being, right? So if you don't want to, I guess,
Oh, the
disrespect them
dwarves.
or offend them, you say that
Oh, like
Tabi
the
po
Duende?
is please step aside, or we're coming through, please step aside. We mean you no disrespect. But whenever we would go to cemeteries, okay, we would say this, or my mom would say, oh, say Tabi po Nuno, so that they won't get you. I'm like, why are we even here?
Hell
And,
no.
Why
Yeah.
I
did you
actually
look up
remember
the
being
Moo
told
Moo?
this
Or-
as,
or
a,
even
as a
like-
You were
child.
told
no
that too?
less.
Yes,
Yeah,
Tabi
I
po
remember being-
Nuno.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
remember
Oh,
this. I have some memories with being taught that and being like, wait a minute, are there just spirits everywhere that we just
Yes,
don't want to
spirits
like
everywhere. And-
offend? Like I
and I
remember
guess-
as a very precocious child in that I would ask these questions. I was like, wait, are we offending spirits just by being here? And my mom would be like, just save
Just
the
say
thing.
it.
And I'm like,
Say that
and
thing.
I
the
just
thing.
remember being like, wait a minute,
Then you're good.
should I be saying this all the time? Like what's going
all
on?
the time.
But
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was
Mm.
very much
Say it 3
uh,
times.
anywhere that's an unfamiliar place, anywhere that's new and you've never been there before,
Yeah.
just protect yourself and say tabi po no, and you say the po again as like a sign of respect, right? But
Right.
tabi means to step aside, or you're going through, and yeah.
Oh, no.
Anyways,
What's that?
I don't think I can do any more Halloween stuff, guys, until the next Halloween thing edition.
There was September.
Are you getting
I
sweats?
still need to like
You
pick
getting
up a
sweats?
kid, and I don't want it to be dark outside, so
I know. I only have. I mean, that as a kid. I mean, obviously, I've experienced other supernatural things before, but whenever I tell that story, I freak myself out. I'm like,
that's a story, man. I like it.
Yeah.
That is-
it's a weird one. It's a weird one, but at the same time, I'm just like, nope. I'm good. I don't need
Yeah.
to. I don't need to know that stuff happened to me. But I guess
It's part of your
I don't know.
history.
it's I just like to think that it's because it looks like a toy. And I was like, little kid me was like,
Tell
let me play with the
yourself
GI
that,
Joe. The GI Joe, please.
Tell,
The
tell
earthquake
yourself
was
that.
shaking it, and it was going like this to you.
Right? Yeah, exactly,
You're
exactly.
like-
and I was like, hey, that looks like a toy. It looks like a
Yeah.
toy. It's shaking on its own.
Oh my god! Yeah, but it's true. Something as small again as the Philippines is like rich in like lore, rich in these kinds of supernatural. Superstition too is a big thing in the Philippines.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
Lots of topics to be covered for stuff like
Yeah,
that.
we'll definitely cover that, especially as we get closer to spooky time.
Spooky time.
Spooky time. Talk all the. I gotta gather some some crazy
Yeah.
Filipino.
Your dad's gonna be
Filipino
like,
stories.
"Why? What's up?"
Ooh, we could talk about aswangs.
Maybe we can
Yeah.
have your dad as like a nice guest for our show.
Oh my God. My dad will talk forever. We don't want that.
Yeah. In the meantime, maybe we should put it out there to Lego. Hey, maybe you can make us a Lego parole. Make it
Oh
like
yeah, I was
more
actually thinking about
ethnic.
doing
I
a
wonder if
Lego
Lego
version
would ever go
too.
that direction.
There you go. AZ Pinoy. I think he told me about this too.
Ooh.
Halloween show
What's
back then in the
Magandang
Philippines.
gabi? Good
Gabi?
night. What's bayan?
Good night. Kababayan, like
Friend.
other Filipinos, other Filipino
Oh.
It was like
kind of neighbor. Yeah.
AZ,
no, Gaijin
you
style.
have a story too. You're missing out.
Well, he'll tell us Halloween. story.
We got opportunities for such
Guys, I
things.
stopped breathing 10
Opportunities, yeah.
minutes ago, so let's.
Many changes.
And I'm in the basement. I
Oh
don't
my-
like being in the basement. Okay, so
Oh my gosh.
and it's covered by Lego, right?
Scary.
So
So
you're doing
there's
you're
no-
finishing the laundry
Elvis
later.
over there.
There's no mumu over there. It's fine.
Nick sneak a Santo Nino in there somewhere and hide it in the behind like one of the
No, but then that would
buildings.
So when I went to
Just make
go
a
check or Google
Lego.
search Momo, it was
Uh-huh.
actually it reincarnated into YouTube. There's a Momo Scary Challenge.
Mumu.
Have you
Mumu
guys
or
heard-
Momo?
Oh, Mumu, yeah.
Mumu.
Momo is a weird kind of
Yeah, that weird
something
face.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different. No.
Or
I don't know,
is
but
that
then when I
somehow
looked up, like,
oddly
The
related, and we
ghost,
just didn't
it
know
kind of
it.
looks like her, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I don't even like
Oh,
looking at that
that's-
picture,
that
dude.
was,
I
like,
hate that picture.
Oh, that's
I'm
that
not even
scary
gonna look
girl.
at
Yeah,
I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, no,
A
thank
pale face, black haired.
Yeah, yeah.
no,
No, thank
Yeah,
you.
nope.
no,
Nope.
No.
Just thinking about it just gave me the wheelies.
I'm sorry, I was like, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what an aswang is, but
Yeah. I know,
Oh
I
my
think-
god.
So don't get me wrong. As much as I freak myself out with these stories, like I gravitate to these stories. Like it's
I
one of
know.
those.
You like
I love
punish-
it, right? But
glutton for
I am
punishment.
a glutton for punishment. But I remember one of my coloring books when I visited the Philippines once was the supernatural beings of the Philippines. That's what the coloring book was called. And
What kind of messed up coloring book is that?
and I remember, I don't remember. I think maybe one of the teachers gave it to me, and I love coloring. right?
dang.
But honestly,
Yeah,
like
thank you.
the monsters in this book was like the aswang, the tikbalan, the capre. Like it was crazy, and
North
I
Americans would never.
ate it
understand.
like whoa, this is crazy, and then freak myself out. Anyways, yeah, I do remember I had a coloring book that was
Yeah.
the supernatural
I gotta remember
monsters
the
of the
dwarf
Philippines.
story.
That's a messed up coloring book.
No.
I had it. I think I was 7, 8. Colored it like Rainbow Bright.
I gotta
Rainbow Bright
find
on one
this thing.
side, and then
Yes.
supernatural beings on
Gotta
the other.
find all these random ones.
What
I'm
a
sure
cute
somewhere
coloring
Amazon.
You gonna
Oh
ship
my
it to each of us?
God.
Be like, hey, here's a nice Halloween present. Trick or treat.
Yes.
Loser. Good luck getting sleep.
Yes.
Oh my god. No, I'm good.
Always
I'm
funny. Always funny.
No thanks.
cheese and crackers. Well, I think that kind of wraps us up, huh? We got a
Yeah.
good show in. Unfortunately, we don't have AZ and Rob with us, but I'm sure we'll get their BerMonths stories soon. We'll definitely get some. They have homework like
Mhm.
us.
Yeah.
To gather some spoopy stories.
Spoopy.
Spoopy stories. Got to do it. But yeah, any final thoughts? Any plugs for everybody? Anything happening?
Just back to school for us right now. All the
Yeah,
kids are
right.
back in school, so we're busy with that, getting everybody resettled, and making sure that they're all doing homework and going to school the next day. So far,
Very nice.
week one under the books.
Amor, you
What
got
do you
any
guys-
fun guests coming up on Crossing the Streams?
Pez Liz will be on
Nice.
on the 16th, the next
Nice.
Saturday. So Pez Liz is going to be an incredible 3D printer maker and crafter person.
Nice.
Huge on Twitch. A lot of helps out with a ton of things. Like she's involved with a lot of things. So we'll be talking on Saturday. For
And you
Crossing the Streams.
just had Pod Bricks on yesterday.
Just had Pod Bricks
Oh,
on.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know Mr. Pod was in there as well. So hopefully we can talk to both Mr. Pod and Pod Bricks here
Mhm.
soon.
Absolutely.
Now that you
Yes.
got the connections, anything for
Yeah.
you, Kuya Roldi? Anything coming up for you?
I started actually messing with my Lego again.
Nice.
Oh, you're
After Brick
building
Fair,
again.
like I haven't touched any of this. Like,
Gets you again.
I
Over
have
and over
months of sorting, but yeah, I'm gonna try and finish up at least one of these by the end of the month. So
Nice.
we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. Zach says, dope. Yeah, but just streams for me Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday evenings on twitch.tv/panfrednudo, spelled this way right here. We got some fun sets coming up. Some really fun sets coming up.
Mhm.
So make sure to tune in at the Nudo House over the next couple of weeks. We also have some scary games in October, so I'm gonna do a scary stream. If you want to see me get scared, really, really bad,
Ooh.
then you can come to Twitch and watch me either get scared by stream alerts or scare alerts or by the actual game that I'll be playing. So I'm gonna warn you, I'm really bad with scary games. So
What are you
I'll
playing?
probably there's a couple of games. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but there are a lot of the Emeka games, kind of like Summer 58, like,
Oh
and locked up. So
man,
there's
are
a
you
couple
gonna
of
be
games.
all right?
Yeah,
I know.
that's gonna be one.
I'm
So there's
worried
gonna be
for you.
There's gonna be a whole lot of
Yeah.
there's gonna be a whole lot of that
Yeah.
while I play. Mortuary Assistant is another one that I have. So
Oh my
I'm
god.
not
That one's
looking
not
forward.
okay. I did that one last year. That one is not okay. I can't wait to talk to you about.
Yeah, it's
The
gonna be a
things that
whole
happen.
lot of
And they do stuff. They do
Yeah.
stuff in that game that you're like not expecting at all.
yeah. And I can
So-
talk to you guys about the Nun too. So the next time
Yeah.
Yes.
we come together, and then I'd
Yeah.
see AZ's wife would like to join in on some of the spooky
That'd be cool.
stories.
I love it.
Yeah.
Last night on Full of Brick, we had Easy Craftsman on, and he's one of the co-hosts of Building with Buds on
Yeah,
YouTube.
It's very fun.
And next week on Full of Brick, we're gonna have one of the co-hosts of Good Morning Brick World, the Brick Babe.
Oh, nice.
So she's
Brick
gonna
Babe.
be joining us on Full of
Yeah,
Brick.
my
So
blanket.
Friday nights.
Friday nights,
Nice. Friday nights,
Nice.
Full of Brick. Here on YouTube.
here on YouTube.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Hey, everybody. And everybody in chat. Thank you guys so much for being here for the first inaugural live version of Hollow Hollow Time. We might do these live probably more often. I think this is fun. I think we have a
That's
nice, good flow going. Maybe when we don't have a full crew, but maybe not. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. We'll see it. But with that, have a good one, everybody. Love y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Hola, guy in Pasco.